what is much more serious than people realize. Short-term stress is okay. It increases productivity and such. The real problem is long-term stress. It affects life expectancy while impacting your cardiovascular system and more. To expand my point a bit, stress also can cause depression. It affects the immune system, which makes you more vulnerable to colds and such. It can also speed up the process of cancer cell growth. Not to mention the negative impacts it leads on your social life. So, take it easy, guys. Arthritis. Especially rheumatoid arthritis. It is a painful, debilitating, and incurable condition that negatively affects millions of people. Most people hear it and think, I can take some Advil or do some PT and I'll be fine, but it's really a life-altering condition. Safety measures when using power tools. No, sunglasses are not the same as eye protection when you're using a chainsaw. They're not just for dust and grit, they're there so if the chain snapped it doesn't embed itself in your face. No, you cannot run a sander on your skin cause you're curious what it feels like. It feels like ripped off skin. No, you cannot keep a loose grip on the drill. Its whole job is to accelerate pointy bits of metal to what I like to call murder speed. Bottom line, if it has an engine in it, treat it with respect, read all the rules, and follow them because it is dangerous. Antibiotic use in cattle is absurd and is mostly to blame for this. It's not that the use is directly affecting humans. It's that the overuse of antibiotics leads to antibiotic resistance in microorganisms in these animals. MRSA, VRE, VRSA. Google any of those and you can learn more. Also, there are a couple PBS documentaries that talk about the lack of financial benefit from pharmaceutical companies to produce new antibiotics. It's not good. I work in an animal shelter. We get owners surrendering dogs for the stupidest reasons. We didn't realize she'd get so big. Her nails scratch our hardwood floors. He was cute when he was a puppy, but now he's kind of ugly. These are all things I have actually heard people say. It's infuriating and disheartening. Diabetes. It isn't about being unable to eat sugar anymore. This disease will up your heart, eyes, kidneys and feet if it's not properly controlled. And the real scary thing is that you don't feel anything wrong until it really starts going wrong. I feel better when my blood sugar is high, because that is what my body is used to. But in the long term it would kill me. You could easily ignore it until you start losing your sight, or feeling in your feet, or other irreversible damage. By then it is too late to fix. My so's mom just died in January of related complications. First, she went almost completely blind, then her kidneys started failing. She got sick and ended up having to do hemodialysis, a side effect of which is stroke. She had 3, died from the last one. She made my so swear that we would both get healthy because her mom said it just wasn't worth it. The problem with depression and anxiety is that you can't see it like a scar or injury, and only the person experiencing it can feel it. If there was a visual representation of it, say for example a meter hooked up to the beats of your heart, or stress meter, people around the patient would be a lot more sympathetic. I figured this out firsthand after about a year of depression. It's a having to relearn things that used to come as naturally as wiping your edit. If I can do it, anyone can. I was in the throes of amphetamine psychosis a year ago. During this time I was gaslighted for several months. This affords you a particularly up brand of trust issues / unsociability. I'm doing just fine now. Drugs. A friend of mine was clinically diagnosed with depression because she liked to spend her free time laying in bed, usually napping. Pretty upbeat and outgoing person, but if you've just spent a week off relaxing in bed you'll know the feeling of it being all you want to do. It's a very slippery slope. I can't speak about other aspects of your life that might be bringing you down, but the advice my friend received from her doctor was to try to limit the amount of time she slept. Like try to not get more than 8 hours of sleep a night. It's very easy to get addicted to sleep, making it hard to leave bed. I'm no doctor and I can't tell you how to live your life, but it saved my friend so I thought I should share. Social media and one's internet footprint. Many people undermine the impacts and consequences of posting things in the heat of the moment or harmless comments which could eventually cost them their jobs by thinking that they are protected under the broad and ambiguous term of freedom of speech. Ocean acidification. Soon the water will be too acidic for the tiniest / most numerous animals to make shells out of calcium. Coral reefs will all melt away. The largest and most complex food chain on our planet will start breaking down. You think the disappearance of bees is bad? Wait till we feel the effects of a dead ocean. I had to research this a while back. I'm not an expert, but from what I understand, it's a relatively difficult thing to predict. Some creatures are actually better at making shells with a more acidic ocean, to a point, obviously, while others are very sensitive to it and already show serious weakness due to the change. This makes it very difficult to predict the long-term effects, since it's not so easy to accurately forecast how each change will affect the ecosystem and on what timescale, and how changes will interfere with each other.